All right, rock and roll. Welcome to the Scorched Earth Political Podcast. I'm your host, John. April 21st, Monday, 2025. Hope you all had a happy Easter. Man, where is this year going? We went through tax day, went through Easter. Next thing you know, Memorial Day is knocking on the door. Get ready. Get the doughboy out, get the swimming pool out. I just saw one of my good friends, Eric M. He just posted a picture of him and his beautiful woman. They got the pool out. They're getting ready. I was like, wow, look at you kids out there. Just use that sunblock, Eric. We don't want you to be getting that skin cancer. You're one of the few Democrats I know. The Republicans, you just go out there, okay? Go ahead, just do it. All right? I don't want to use any words. I'm trying to, free for all, whatever. I know. I'm trying to think of what would be the actual thing about not using any sunscreen or sun lotion, Back in the 80s, I know most of you people weren't even alive, they used to put baby oil on. I mean, it was like you were roasting a turkey. I mean, they got this animus towards Mexicans. Back in the 80s, we were all trying to look like we were Mexicans. And if you were really good at tanning, you looked like you were African. And everybody was like, yeah, you're badass. And then Michael Jackson screwed everything up and he wanted to become white and nobody else wanted to be cool. All right? I don't know what the hell that was. All right. Well, you could see, obviously, I'm white. Man, just from my mannerisms, I'm not cool. I know I'm not cool. I want to think I'm cool. But, man, I'm white on white. And let me tell you how white I am. The other day, I go to lunch, and I got my friend, my buddy, and he wants to go to a Mexican restaurant. Now, in Southern California, we literally have the best Mexican cuisine there is. It is authentic. It's delicious. It's whatever. But see, I like white Mexican food. Okay? Like, I don't need any heat, right? I like the Taco Bell, the Del Taco, some other corporate entities like Baker's, whatever. This guy wants to go to the taco shack in the barrio. And like, my head starts to sweat just when I walk in the place. And I'm like, I remember I was with my girl in Vegas a couple years ago, and there was a street truck for tacos. And she can handle hot. I mean, she can obviously handle pain because she was with me, and she can handle hot. You could put a blowtorch in this girl's mouth, wouldn't even blink. She'd be like, yeah, give me another one. Yeah. And we went up to it, and I was like, I thought I was doing her a favor. I'm going to get you some authentic Mexican food. And she looks at it and she goes, what are you going to get? And I was like, I'm going to go to Subway down the street. And I could see in her eyes, there was a little tinge of panic because she didn't really understand what what food trucks and street food were all about then. Now, she's savvy. I think she goes to the meatball truck, whatever, at her work. But, back then, and even now, I'm not doing it. Like, you even put cilantro on that stuff, I'm already breaking out. My stomach is already in a full revolt. My stomach is pulling a January 6th. Like, I don't need this, man. Let's hang some mofo. Let's get this out of the way, right? So we went there, and he ordered something, and I'm literally up at the counter. This lady, God bless her, she could barely speak English. And I'm like, I'm trying to convey to her, please, can you just give me the whitest food you have, like a corn tortilla without anything and like the most non-flavored meat you have? Like, what do you feed the dog? Give me a little of that, right? I ate like 2 bites. I literally started sweating. It was like I was in the middle of Palm Springs in the summer. Couldn't handle it. All right. Well, enough about that nonsense, right? Maybe tomorrow I'll tell you about my little Easter at my parents' house, but we've already went way too long. All right. Welcome one, welcome all, friend, foe, sinner, and saint. We're all in this together. If you can, hit that like and subscribe button. Also, hit the notifications. It's a big thing. Super producer Stacy's always telling me, God, you got to tell them to hit the notifications so they know you're out. Hey, I'm slugging it out, man. We're almost at 100 straight episodes. Go figure that, right? Whoever said I'd make it to 100? I told you I'd be a contender. I told you I'd be a contender. All right. So we get back into the news with, oh, let me start with my cool line. Let's just get out there and burn it all down. You know, sometimes you think that stuff would just be ingrained in you, but it just isn't, right? So let's get the blowtorch out. Let's get the flamethrower out for Pete Hegseth, the Defense Secretary. If you all remember, which I'm sure you do, he a month ago had 16 people on a Signal chat. Forget using the secure communications network that the Pentagon has spent billions of dollars securing, perfecting, keeping safe. Now, we need to go on some commercial app, okay? Because maybe he gets some reward points. I don't know. So a month ago, we were going to bomb the Houthis, and he included the editor, Jeffrey Rosenberg of The Atlantic on it, and he basically told him, along with the other 14 people, all the war plans, when the planes were going to hit, where they were going to go. Now, Pig says that that's not classified information, and that's, of course, a lie. Well, let's put it this way. Technically, it is true because he decides what's classified or not, and after he spilt the beans, then he decided, well, it's not classified. All right, sure, sounds good, right? So we got a situation where, all this he is sharing with all these people. He's sharing with Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. And I understand it was so outlandish, him sharing with a journalist. I get that. But I keep wondering, why has Scott Bessent been over in Ukraine negotiating the end of that war? Why was he on this military war plan group chat? I mean, what is the Treasury Secretary doing out there? I mean, is this guy like, Treasury Secretary during the day and James Bond at night? I mean, this dude might be the ultimate badass. I don't know. I just seen Scott Bessent, and he talks crazy when he talks about the terrorists, but the rest of the time, he seems like a semi-serious guy. I mean, okay. So it wasn't bad enough he did that. But then Pig, decided he was going to set up a second Signal group chat simultaneously with his wife, lawyer, brother, and 3 other people outside of the chain of command. Like, I'm kind of hurt he didn't include me. I mean, what is this? Is this a friends and family plan? Is this something that AT&T rolls out like 3 times a year? You think you're going to get more reward bucks? You think you're going to get HBO Max for free if you get plenty of people to join? I mean, these were military plans for an attack against the Houthis. The only people who didn't know about it, I think, were Donald Trump and the people he was golfing with at Mar-a-Lago that weekend, right? The Houthis got to be, damn it, I would have voted for this guy if I'd have known it was going to be this easy to know when they were going to strike at us. All right. So, some of his closest allies, or former closest allies, Hegg says, have been let go or fired. Now, I would assume they've been doing quite a bit of polygraph work, trying to figure out where the leaks came from in the last month in the Defense Department. 3 of the people have been let go, including his former press secretary, John Elliott. He said it's been a month of total chaos at the Pentagon. From leaks of some sensitive operational plans to mass firings, the dysfunction is now a major distraction for the president. I can tell you right now that in most administrations, Pete Hegseth would literally be in a soup kitchen line tonight. He would be fired. He would be terminated. I don't know how that works with Trump. Trump doesn't want to admit he made a bad hire. I don't know at what point it becomes a problem, but to me, when this guy is including his wife and his lawyer on military plans, I mean, what kind of clown show is this? Now, there's been a lot of rumors of excessive drinking while he was at Fox and in the military. Yeah. Hey, give me a double scotch and let's go. Let's start sharing these damn military plans. That's what I got to say, right? Hegseth's brother, Phil, as well as his lawyer, Joe Partiloni, or Tim Partiloni, excuse me, both have jobs at the Defense Department. How come Doge isn't working on this? Why can't we cut out that waste? Because I can tell you right now, they ain't doing nothing. Hegseth has his wife Jennifer typically accompany him when he meets foreign leaders. There you go. Let's bring in the little woman. She's really good with a calculator. Man, I'll tell you get her on that abacus, man, she's a badass. She can switch accounts on Yahoo and YouTube like you would never believe, right? You know? Including, he brought her to a meeting with British Defense Secretary John Healey. It's not clear if everybody on the second Signal chat has security clearance. I'm taking a wild guess here and saying, that's the Jeopardy buzzer. Sorry, right? Yeah, that's what this guy's doing, right? Also, I'm wondering, maybe I could just save him some time and some money, right? Like, back in the day, I used to go to chat rooms. I met my girl in Yahoo chat, right? Hey, Pete, just do a Yahoo chat. Military war plans. Don't worry about it. Who's going to find out? You know, because it's not like you've been keeping it secret or doing it the way you're doing it so far. Sam Hill. Oh, my gosh. This is what happens when the Senate confirms people who are totally incompetent for their job. All right? I'm not going to get into the Robert Kennedy. I'm not going to get into Linda McMahon. I'm not going to get into Tulsi Gabbard, though I could, and though I probably should. All right. You know, and I know I'm on the progressive side. I know I'm on the liberal side. But can you imagine the outrage of what the Republicans would do if anything even close like this happened to a Democratic president? I mean, they spent 3 months at Fox literally going into epileptic seizures because Joe Biden, when he greeted, the fallen warriors at Landover, Maryland at 3 a.m, he looked at his watch. They were flipping the F out. You know, let's not forget, in the first administration, out of 100 incidents where fallen soldiers were brought back to Landover, Maryland, Trump was only there 4 times. All right. 4 good, 96 bad. It's almost like his business record. What, 6 bankruptcies? He bankrupted casinos 3 times. How does that happen? I didn't think that was even possible. All right, let's go to odd things in the news. Tell you, man, that guy gets me worked up. I hope you all had a good Easter. I hope you did. Seems like we got a little return to sender. A Boeing jet intended for use by the Chinese airline landed back at the plane maker's U.S. production hub on Saturday. A victim of the tit-for-tat bilateral tariffs launched by President Donald Trump in his global trade offensive. Yeah, okay. You want to put 145% on us? Yeah, good luck. Good luck, Chuck. The 737 MAX, and let me tell you something. If there's somebody out there that's going to buy that terrible plane, you ought to be thankful. You ought to get out the prayer beads and the rosary beads every day and thank God that person exists. Those planes cost $106 million. The plane was meant for China's Xiamen Airlines. I'm sure I butchered that name. They landed at Seattle's Boeing Field at 6:11 p.m. on Saturday night. It was painted already in the Xiamen colors. It had a couple refueling stops. It was in Hong Kong, made the U-turn. Now, listen to this line. Out of CNN. Oh, boy. I can't even believe they wasted ink on this. He said, It's not clear which party made the decision for the aircraft to return to the U.S. I'm sure it wasn't Boeing. Yeah, we want our plane back. Yeah, okay. The return of the 737 MAX, Boeing's best-selling model, is the latest sign of disruption for the new deliveries. You know, they have had a duty-free status for the last 10 years. Oh, no tariffs. Now all of a sudden there's a 145% tariff, right? So if the plane, let's just do the math. Thanks, John. Click, click, click. If the plane's $100 million, now the plane's 245. I'm sure we're glad that Howard Lufnick's out there trying to get us back that iPhone work of, screwing in the little screws, right? Yeah, that sounds like that's going to be a great thing. Don't worry about the $100 million plane. Don't worry about that at all. To me, that's just bloody brilliant. But, hey, let's just start buying Airbus stock. That's Boeing's biggest competitor, and they're based in Europe. Trust me, it's going to be a good year for Airbus. Finally, let's talk about Donald Trump and the Corruption Don't Stop Here tour. Seems like his inaugural committee collected a staggering $240 million for the festivities earlier this year. Wow. $240 million. $240 million. The total haul was reported Sunday by the committee. It swamped the then record he had in his first go-round at corruption in 2017 of $107 million. Now, God bless Joe Biden. That guy really has to get on the corruption train. It's a little late now. He's retired in Delaware. We miss you, Joe. God bless you. But he only got $62 million. That guy just doesn't understand corruption. Wow. So let's go through some of the donors to the Trump. Let's do the inaugural fun thing. The single largest donor was Colorado-based poultry company Pilgrim's Pride. Sure, they're not going to get nothing that. They contributed $5 million. Oh, my God. $5 million. Okay. We also had cryptocurrency firm Ripple gave nearly 4.9. Okay. If I don't know much about crypto, but if there's a Ripple coin, you might want to think about buying it. Another crypto interest, trading app Robinhood, donated $2 million. All right, man. Let's keep it in the family. Don't you fret. It also shows that, the report shows that also that most of the most generous donors were rewarded. We didn't see that plot twist coming, did we, Batman? Seems like Arkansas financier Warren Stevens, Trump's pick to serve as U.S. ambassador to the United Kingdom, he donated $4 million. Jarek Isaacman, a billionaire businessman, is now awaiting Senate confirmation to head NASA. Hey, I'm qualified to run NASA. I was in a plane once. He gave $2 million. So did Melissa Agrios. She gave $2 million, and now she's the U.S. envoy to Latavia. All right, man. No big deal here, man. It's all good. It's all good. Linda McMahon, the one who is literally dismantling the education department, she gave $1 million. She gave $1 million for a job that's going to make her unemployed. Oh, she's a precious one, that Linda McMahon. Your husband was a real winner too, Vince. Yeah. His Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent donated $250,000. That's nice. Let's keep it going. I was only $250,000 short of being in the Trump cabinet. Not that I would have went, but I decided to allot my money for things that are a little more important, like food and electricity. And you can see from my amazing girth that I spend a lot on food. Not very well, but I do. Sunday, the reason this came out was the 90-day mark since the inauguration, and it's the legal deadline for the inaugural committee to disclose its donations of $200 or more. I mean, why are we even playing that game? Let's put a couple more zeros on that. It should be $200,000 or more. right? It sent the report to the Federal Election Commission, and it doesn't tell you how they spent the money or what they're going to do with the leftover money. Now, there's rumors that the Trump administration is going to put it towards their library. But if you remember correctly, Trump told Meet the Press in, I think, 19, that he was probably going to put his presidential library on one of his properties in Bedminster or in Mar-a-Lago. I'm going to give all the money to Mar-a-Lago. Maybe we can get the brown spots out of your golf course. Because it's a hunk of junk, man. I've seen all that Doral course. Come on, man. That was worse than a public uni. Jesus Christ, right? They contacted the inaugural committee for Trump. They said they did not know what they were going to do with the money. All right, there we go. Welcome one, welcome all. Looks like the corruption scandal is just going. The first go round, it seems like they were going after millions. Now they've sharpened their focus. They're going after billions. You know? Hey, it's what we voted for. Well, not all of us. I assume most people listening to this podcast probably didn't vote for that. But, you know, hey, we're all in this together, friend and foe, sinner and saint, right? All right, that's it for today. Just want to tell you all, love you. Hope you had a really wonderful Easter. I hope you were able to hug somebody you loved. I hope you had a really good day. It's a beautiful day. It's one of my favorite days and holidays of the year. It's where we get together with family, and it's just a peaceful, serene thing. Bless y'all. Love y'all. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.